Jigsaw puzzle on repeat. Speed is key, gotta move fast. Put those pieces in their perfect spots. Adrenaline rush, hearts pounding loud. Every second counts, we gotta wow the crowd. Fingers flying, hands on fire. We're the kings and queens of this puzzling empire. Puzzled hearts, we're in this together. Filling in the pieces, bringing joy forever. Puzzled hearts will solve the mystery. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, we compete. Jigsaw puzzle on repeat. Speed is key, gotta move fast. Put those pieces in a perfect spot. Adrenaline rush, hearts pounding loud. Every second counts, we gotta wow the crowd. Fingers flying, hands on fire, hands on fire. We're the kings and queens of this puzzling empire. Puzzled hearts, we're in this together. Filling in the pieces, bringing joy forever. Puzzled hearts will solve the mystery. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, we compete. Jigsaw puzzle on repeat. Speed is key, gotta move fast. Put those pieces in the perfect spots. Puzzled hearts, we're in this together. Filling in the piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, we compete. Jigsaw puzzle on repeat. Speed is key, gotta move fast. Put those pieces in their perfect spots. Adrenaline rush, hearts pounding loud. Every second counts, we gotta wow the crowd. Fingers flying, hands on fire. We're the kings and queens of this puzzling empire. Puzzled hearts, we're in this together. Filling in the pieces, bringing joy forever. Puzzled hearts will solve the mystery. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, we compete. Jigsaw puzzle on repeat. Speed is key, gotta move fast. Put those pieces in a perfect spot. Adrenaline rush, hearts pounding loud. Every second counts, we gotta wow the crowd. Fingers flying, hands on fire, hands on fire. We're the kings and queens of this puzzling empire. Puzzled hearts, we're in this together. Filling in the pieces, bringing joy forever. Puzzled hearts will solve the mystery. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, we compete. Jigsaw puzzle on repeat. Speed is key, gotta move fast. Put those pieces in the perfect spots. Puzzled hearts, we're in this together. Filling in the piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, we compete. Jigsaw puzzle on repeat. Speed is key, gotta move fast. Put those pieces in their perfect spots. Adrenaline rush, hearts pounding loud. Every second counts, we gotta wow the crowd. Fingers flying, hands on fire. We're the kings and queens of this puzzling empire. Puzzled hearts, we're in this together. Filling in the pieces, bringing joy forever. Puzzled hearts will solve the mystery. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, our love for puzzles is real. Piece by piece, we compete. Jigsaw puzzle on repeat. Speed is key, gotta move fast. Put those pieces in a perfect spot. Adrenaline rush, hearts pounding loud. Every second counts, we gotta wow.
All right. Greetings, everybody. Can you hear me all right? All right. Welcome to all our participants this evening, and welcome to our viewers on YouTube. I've left Angelica's screen up there. She told me today that she has some ducklings, and it's very funny. There's a little fence built for them, but all one's making a breakaway. So we're just getting a bit of cuteness there. Yes, welcome Fruji and Mari. Lovely to see you again.
Hello.
Hello.
I see Fruji is melting over there watching the ducklings.
I'm crazy for ducklings. I love the little animals. I would be so happy to have a couple of them. Like they're just so adorable. Then how their little feet are slipping. They're so cute.
I don't know what's cuter, the ducklings or Fruji talking about watching the ducklings.
So yes, I'll just keep Angelica's ducklings on screen just so we can. I feel like we've got like a live cam on some wildlife there, but it's very cute. Yes, so welcome everyone. Tonight is the 50 Plus Club. So we have yeah. I think this is, I've completely lost where we are in the batch, but I think this is one of the first 50 plus clubs that we've had in a while. So yeah, a new batch of people could be on the podium tonight. I think the last group of 50 plus podium winners have moved on. As I was scanning the names, yeah, could be anyone's game tonight. Yeah, and Fruji, you had an idea for a theme about guilty pleasures. The question we asked the participants was, how do you reward yourself after doing something challenging or tiring? What are your favorite ways to treat yourself? Would you like to share?
Oh, well, I have a very, very sweet tooth. So, and anything, chocolate, sweets, candy, basically any kind of treat is always very well received. And then the other guilty pleasure that I have like very specifically thought of is the music of Sean Paul and the Backstreet Boys. It's the two things that I love very, very much.
Yeah, and how about you, Mari? How do you treat yourself?
Well, I'm surprised. They're great answers from folks that we're going to get to reading, and nobody so far has said by doing a puzzle. Anytime I do something I don't want to do, it's like, oh, time to puzzle. And every time I do a challenging puzzle, it's like, oh, time for another puzzle, so I can feel better about that challenging puzzle. So I don't know if this means I'm the freak among freaks, or if that means that everybody else assumed that was the obvious answer. So sorry if that's unoriginal, but that's what actually happens.
Well, I feel that's also something how I treat myself.
Oh,
Yeah, it's something that I'm looking forward to, that it's like, oh, I do my chores first and then I can puzzle. But yeah, we had some nice answers. Oh yeah, and when it comes to food, my I lean more towards the savory side. So rather than chocolate or something sweet, I tend to go for salty chips. That tends to be my thing, like crispy salty chips. Something that I thought was quite interesting is Christina said, after something challenging, my dream is to come home to a quiet home, a home that is tidy and clean. She loves to have a shower and do the whole like what do you call it, like the special routine of just like really like self-care routine, and having the comfy chair, and making drying my hair, going to bed with clean sheets. And I know that's odd. She says, I know that's all oddly specific, but I think that's what working mothers and women would like to have after a challenging day. And that was kind of a surprising answer, but when I read it, I could really relate to it. I found it just sounded so cozy, and yeah, there was something about hopping into like fresh bed sheets and having like the whole beauty routine done. It just feels so rewarding.
I love that.
Yeah, so we have several more answers, and we'll get to them. Fuji and Mari will get to them as we go through the competition. But I do see that it is time to check to do the unwrapping. So we'll take everyone off the screen. But yeah, thanks Angelica for showing us your little ducklings, and maybe they get some screen time later when you finish your puzzle.
I hope they steal pieces. We know stories of cats and parrots and dogs stealing and eating pieces. I wonder if ducklings do. I guess we're going to find out today.
Yes, that's the most lively and very cute mascots we've had in a while. So yes, we've had cats and we've seen some dogs in the background, and now we've had ducklings. What else will we have? Okay, so let's get ready to do some puzzling. Go ahead and unwrap your puzzle, everyone. And remove the stickers.
Oh boy, it's my favorite part.
And I just realized I forgot my puzzle. I'm going to go grab it.
This is my favorite part. The excitement. What is it? What is it? What is it?
It's also going to kind of reveal the inspiration behind the question.
Oh, I think I know what that is. Okay. I'm squinting on these little screens. We'll have to see on the big reveal.
Yeah, so here these stickers are very tight. I would not recommend peeling them off. It does tend to rip off the paper. So I do recommend to slice the stickers. There's 2 of them on there. Okay, so yes, there is a poster. You may remove that. It is a bit curved because it's squished into the box. So you may take out the poster, flatten it, and just get it ready. And if you don't have something to hold your poster, well, too bad. They're coming more popular, so you need to have a solution for that. Okay, so you can take the poster out, but please put the lid back onto the box, and then I know that you're ready to go. We are at 7 o'clock. The pieces need to stay in the box, please, Claudia. Pieces in the box. Yeah. Okay. I feel like this has been so long since I've done this. It's only been like 10 days or something like that, but I feel like I've forgotten what I'm doing. I need my timer screen up. Okay, so I'm going to start the timer. All right. Countdown starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck, everybody.
Happy
Good luck,
puzzling,
everybody.
everyone.
And we're off. All right. Virgie, I think you were the person who officially knew about this puzzle. Do you want to
Yes.
say what we've got here?
So we've got a Gibsons, and it's obviously a 500 piece, and it's 80s chocolates.
Woo!
And as soon as I opened the box, I was so very happy when I saw the image. It's really a collage of various chocolates from the 80s. I do have to say, a lot of them I actually don't know because obviously it's UK chocolates. But the fun fact is my husband, who is from Namibia, recognized so many.
Oh,
So-
wow. Yeah, that makes sense.
And I actually have to grab my copy because I have actually misplaced it. So Mari, take over for me for a second and I will bring the box.
And you know what? I can take over informedly because even though I was the co-host who didn't know what the puzzle was today, I happened to do this puzzle less than a week ago. I have a big stack of Gibsons that Jim has been collecting for me to practice for the World Series, and people have been loaning me. We don't do many Gibsons here in the States, and this just happened to be in pile, and I happened to do it. So I've got my poster right here. I think I'm too small to show up very well on the YouTube, but you can see me in the middle there. Oh, there it is. That's what we're looking at, folks. This is very collagey. I was very, like Frushi, excited to see chocolate. I love chocolate. I was not around in the 1980s, and I do not know my UK chocolates. So it was really fun to discover sweet treats as I went. And I'm curious how many folks today will recognize chocolates in the box and how many will get to discover surprises.
Yes, so I am here. I did see that you showed the poster already, but I'm also going to show it.
I think this is going to be a very good poster for both of us to keep handy today. Is this the first time both EJJ co-hosts on other sides of the ocean have had the puzzle in hand? This is kind of cool.
Yes.
All right. So it's very busy. It's really, really, really busy. So this puzzle is all about what is going to be your strategy for picking out sections. And are you going to go for trying to do complete islands, like really fighting to complete entire boxes or bars of chocolate so you don't have random shrapnel as you go? Or are you going to go for the most obvious things and then deal with kind of scattered holes through the puzzle as you get into the late stage game? So I expect we're going to see a little bit of both categories.
Which one did you go with, Mari?
Okay, so I train with the idea that when I do a project, 80% is good enough. So I, like many puzzlers, struggle with not moving on fast enough, and I lose time that way. So I try to make myself move on to more distinctive groups, even if I don't necessarily have all of it. But that's pretty challenging with this. I had a really challenging scattered close that was very good practice. So my way is not the only way. What did you do, Frushi?
I went complete pick and place on this one. I did pick a couple of colors. I definitely started with the bigger chunks. So there's the very obvious yellows, there's the purples that I kind of like puzzled into the picture. I actually did the majority of the edge. And then from then on, it was just pick and place craziness. So I basically went by that.
This is definitely a puzzle where some pick and place skills work really well. It's also a puzzle where some sunbursting, building off of things you already have built, really helps because you can kind of follow your way through the maze of chocolate. So there's lots that you can do here, even if it can look a little scary. I opened this box and went, whoa, here we go. But when you get into that, when you really focus and pick projects that you're going to go for, then it doesn't seem so scary. So we're going to see folks really working to focus all the way through. So let's see, we've got some folks on screen here.
Yes. Today we have started with A, so we are seeing Adam from the United Kingdom. We see Alexandra from Switzerland, Amy from the United Kingdom, Angelica from Germany, another Angelica from Germany with the ducklings, but no ducklings this time, and Anna from, as far as I can see, Poland.
Great. And so we're here with the 5-minute mark. You can see all these puzzlers have their pile basically flipped over. We expect by about 5 minutes, most people have all their pieces flipped. The real elite puzzlers are going to have their flip done in somewhere around 3 minutes, maybe a little under if they're being very peppy. So this is where we start to see some strategies forming. Who's going to build the edge? Who's going to say, well, I'm just going to go for a big block. There aren't many big blocks of color in here, but there are a couple you could go for. I am trying to refrain from saying what catches my eye, because in case any of our participants are listening, I don't want anybody to think that what their eye is seeing is a bad idea, right? Because every eye sees something different. It's funny, you said yellow, Frigi. When I opened this up, I immediately did not go for the yellow because there's so much little yellow around. But that's true with every color, almost every color here, that there's a big block of it, but there are also little bits and like little advertisements. I was shocked how many advertisements are on these different
Yes.
candy.
The whole thing is just very, very fun. And I actually see in the comments that Graham is writing that in the UK, this series is known for being very fast. So apparently it's a series. So I guess there's also chocolates from the 90s. And he hopes that all puzzlers are going to have a blast. And I think we hope that as well. It's also like, as you were saying, that there's like no bad way to start this puzzle, or there's no fixed way. I really think that this is the kind of puzzle where you can really start with anything. And it's hopefully also one of those where you don't really get stuck on anything, because you can always find something else. There's just always so many things going on that if you feel like you're being a little bit stuck, you can definitely jump onto something else if you realize early enough that you should jump onto something else.
Absolutely. This is a puzzle that's going to help everybody work on their awareness of when it has slowed down and it's time to move on. We all work on this all the time. It's one of the major keys to being fast, I think. So everybody, like, go fast and don't be afraid to leave something if it isn't working. There's so much to work on.
And we have some new people on screen. So it's Aaron from the UK, Anna from Germany, Annika from Denmark, and we've got Annika from the Netherlands, and we've got Berit from Germany, and Bernhard from Switzerland.
And here we're seeing several folks who are working on the edge. This was my personal strategy when I have something really busy. I do like to build the edge so I have something to anchor me and to start sunbursting, start building out from. But I don't think we're going to see everybody do that with this puzzle.
Not necessarily. It can also be a very useful tool to build the edge first on a brand that you're maybe not that familiar with. Because with the Ravensburger, I think people usually know how big the puzzle is going to be, but obviously different brands have different sizes. And especially with pick and place, or doing something with very heavy pick and place, it might make it more difficult if you don't really know how big the image is going to be. So in that sense, the edge can also help a lot here.
Absolutely. We use the term pick and place to talk about relatively placing things. There's a more intense version of it that's sometimes called dead reckoning, or DR, where you place pieces, even a single piece, exactly where it belongs in the grid. And if you're a dead reckoner puzzler like Tobias, who people know, or Andrea Pang from the US, they're great DR puzzlers. But those folks use the border in order to make that measurement. It's nearly possible to dead reckon without the border. You could pick and place roughly, but you can't do that intense version without the border. So we can start, anybody watching, you could start trying to see if you can anticipate what strategy somebody might be doing based on, do they have the border, or do they have islands floating, or do they have things that look like they're placed exactly. It's kind of fun to figure out what's going on in people's brains.
And we've got some new people on screen, including Birgit from Germany. I'm trying to see Catherine from Ireland, then Katrin from Germany, Cecily from Denmark, Kieran from Ireland, and Claudia from Portugal.
I am also curious to see, we've got a lot of UK folks here today, and like your Graham was saying in the comments that you read, Friggy, that I expect this series is really fast in the UK because you probably know these chocolates, maybe not in their 1980s form, but in their modern form. I wonder how much recognition helps.
I was thinking about the exact same thing as I was completing the puzzle, because there's a lot of brands that I don't know, and interestingly, those were the ones that I left for last. So the bounties, for example, that I know pretty well, I was very surprised that Marathon is what Snickers used to be called. So
I was just reading that in the comments, and it's so funny because when I was puzzling this, I'm like, it's the Snickers font. I guess it's Marathon in the UK. I didn't know. So that's really fun. You keep,
yes,
if anything, you'll increase your chocolate education through this puzzle.
yes. So those brands that I already know, those were the ones that I started with, and then I finished on brands that I had no idea about. So I couldn't really dead reckon or pick and place them, because I also didn't find them on the picture as well as the others. So I basically went from known to unknown chocolates as well. That might also be something that people are going to be doing today.
So right on screen, I maybe just lost it. There was on screen just a second ago, a really good contrast next to each other of somebody building off of a complete border, building islands, and then somebody doing no border but building islands. And I just saw the puzzles. I didn't even see the names. I imagine they were C names, but let's see if we see some more popping up here.
Yes, we are jumping into, like, we're already over 10 minutes here. So we are seeing more and more of the puzzles being formed, and it might be a fast one for real, because we also have a lot of edges already done. And we're going to take a look at who we have on screen right now. We have Christina from Italy. And if I saw correctly in the chat, this is her first time in 50 plus PJJ. Then we've got Daniela from Germany, Daniela from the Netherlands. We've got Dominic from Germany, Dora from Switzerland, and Dorothea from Germany.
Okay. Now, for people watching, and I guess also for people puzzling who are listening to us, a very cool thing about a puzzle like this, when you're doing a pick and place or even a dead reckoning strategy, is that if you really work that technique, that strategy all the way through, what will happen is it will look a little bit slow at the beginning, because the puzzlers are figuring out where the islands are one at a time. But experienced puzzlers, what they will be doing is not just assembling the square that they're working on. They will also be learning what is around each square that they're doing while they're assembling it. So they're going to gain information as they go, and the pace of assembly will then be able to pick up, because the deeper they get into it, the more they're going to know about the image, the easier it will be for them to grab really quick islands that connect, and to fill in material that may not be distinctive by itself, but they'll gain the information while they're building. So we're going to see this accelerate, I imagine, as we go.
Well, we're going to have to watch out for that happening.
Yes, it's going to, I think it's going to be a very fast finish.
Also, because we have been so stuck in discussing the chocolates and the puzzlers, we have skipped over a couple of people who have actually sent in answers for how they treat themselves. And what I really liked is Kieran's treat, which is a hot bath and a glass of wine with a computer game.
Oh, I like that.
I can very much stand behind that. I love a hot bath.
Yes.
Then Christina actually gave a very long answer, but it's basically along the lines of like a nice evening routine, including a shower and some pampering and hair care and all that routine, which is a very nice way to close a challenging day.
Two of my favorites that I saw, Marta says, eat ice cream or buy a new puzzle, but also cuddle my dog. Now
Yes.
that's great. That makes me wish I had a dog to cuddle. I would eat less chocolate, maybe. And a really funny one from Leah. She said, I reward myself by doom scrolling. She says, I always end up spending more time than I imagined, and then I feel guilty. So it really is a guilty pleasure. That's an interesting take on it.
And I think a
But
lot
I
of us can recognize that guilty pleasure as well, because it, I think, happens to everyone now.
Yes, but the self-awareness to list it as your guilty pleasure is quite impressive. I'm amazed.
And we're going on with our competitors, including Elisa from Denmark, Elizabeth, Emily Ann from Switzerland, then Evely from Estonia, Fiona from the UK, I think, but I can't see her. Ah, no, I just scrolled over. Fiona from the UK, then Fleur from the Netherlands, and Gavin from the United Kingdom.
I'm watching Fiona, and this is a great example of sunbursting off the border, building sections off of existing things. She's done nearly a full border. It looks nearly, maybe a couple of gaps. I love when people are willing to leave gaps in the border. You don't need every edge piece in for the border to do its job. And then she's already got some big chunks built down. She's got, I'm going to do, since I have the image, I'm going to play along on my map and name the candy bars. I know it's a little hard to see on YouTube. Looks like she's gone for the dark greens, the fruit pastels.
I am showing that on the screen as well. So.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm not sure where visible, but yeah, they're these, I imagine they're like fruit gummies, or I don't know if they're gummy or if they're hard, but they're fruit boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she's built in, there's a green box of it and then a yellow box of fruit gums, like I guess different flavors of the same thing. And she's built those right in together and got some other islands cooking as well.
Yeah, so people are doing incredible already. We're at 17 minutes now. And I think, yeah, the more people are recognizing the picture, the more it is going to unfold. But also, as I'm just looking through my own screen of everyone puzzling in the Google Meet, I'm also seeing that it looks super chaotic. With a puzzle like this, you also just get a lot of chaos because people grab for so many things and they're just floating all around. So you don't really see a puzzle forming until very late.
Yeah. And it's keeping, like, it may look like chaos to the outside eye, but it's keeping track of what's in your build field that's going to really distinguish the puzzlers who excel at these sorts of busy puzzles. So you, the viewer, may not see what's going on, but hopefully these puzzlers know exactly what's right in front of them. I'm seeing on screen now, there's Hagar, who's got almost a full border. Yay, willing to leave gaps in the border. I love it. It takes too long to hunt for one edge piece. But this is a strategy where they're building islands in the middle. I see the bounty bar, the blue bounty bar, and I see it looks like the light blue Cadbury Roses chocolates. I went for that early too. I thought that blue was really distinctive, at least.
Yeah,
to
that stands out pretty well. I'm also showing that on my screen at this point.
So that's a strategy that we would call island building, where they're building groups of things that don't necessarily attach to the border, but it gives them more things to attach to later, because now they can build off the border or any of those islands.
And Michelle is pointing out something very important, which I think is very, very cool, which is that Jen, I'm so sorry, is wearing her own, Janne, I think, from Norway. She is wearing her own made, so this is a handmade cardigan with puzzle pieces. So this is a passion project. It looks incredible.
Oh my goodness. It looks like the fabric is hand printed to make those lines, and that's knitted crazy. I can't knit a scarf that goes straight. Wow, I'm so impressed.
It looks so incredible. Yes, and we also have Helen from the UK, we've got Ilona from Germany, we've got Irma from Switzerland, then we've got Jan from the Netherlands, and of course Janne from Norway.
So Ilona is doing this island building and pick and place without a border. We discussed it, and there it is. It's a little hard to see with the glare on the table, but she's got a whole bunch of islands built and placed roughly where they go on the table, and she'll just be filling in. We might even see the border go last. That's very cool.
Yeah, so we are seeing different strategies all over. And then one more important thing, Janne can be found on Instagram as the knitting puzzler.
Of course, amazing. Well, I'm gonna go check that out.
So it's two passion projects together.
Excellent. All right. So we're getting towards the mid game here, right? We think about puzzling, or at least I do, in three stages. We have like a test game, the opening, the mid game, and the close. Right? The mid game being the meat of most of the assembly. And the mid game of a busy puzzle like this is all about keeping track of the chaos and managing your space, knowing where everything is. So we're going to start seeing how do people handle if they have the border, it's going to enclose the space. So how do they deal with that space getting very crowded? The fastest way to make space is always to assemble. But if things aren't wanting to assemble, if you have a cluster of pieces that you can't quite get to go together and they're just sitting in frame, what do you do about that? And we're going to see some people who want to like really work to get those pieces assembled. We'll see some people just take the pieces out, right? Just because they're in field doesn't mean they have to stay there. And you'll see people just grab a whole handful and shove it right out and say, I'm going to deal with this later, which can often be a really good strategic decision.
Just not to crowd the space in the puzzle, which can sometimes really make your job difficult. The other thing that can be very difficult at this point is that you already have chunks completed of the puzzle and they might be floating in places, but you kind of have to keep track of where they are so that they don't move too far away from where they are supposed to be in the picture, which is sometimes very, very difficult. And we again see basically island building without an edge, which is what Yasmin is doing from Switzerland. Then we've got Jeanette from Denmark. Then we've got Jenny from the Netherlands, Judith from Germany. We've got Jukka from Finland and Julia from Poland.
This is really cool to see that we mostly know borders in this group and some really good effective islands happening. With a puzzle that's this busy, I personally I don't trust myself to do those kinds of islands without the border. I do use the border to measure space. That's just me. So I get very, very impressed when I see people doing what this group is. And they're not going to be necessarily any slower than somebody who does the edge. It's so cool.
Now I have kind of halfway got distracted because I'm trying to find what Graham is saying in the comments, which is that this puzzle has caused me to learn of the discontinued Terry's Pyramid, and now it's all he wants, and I can't find it. I don't exactly know where it is. And that's what I'm looking for.
It's a pyramid. I remember encountering this chocolate while I was assembling it in the bottom, or I'll hold it up on the screen. It's very small. It's a triangle box that has like these green, it's like a Northern Lights green sky and palm trees and bright red. It's not a good pull because by itself, because it's very small and some of it reads red and some of it reads green. But I do love chocolate and mint. So I saw that. I'm like, ooh, what's that? Maybe I'll try one, but it's discontinued. Graham.
Now that you're showing it, I realized that I actually had these pieces in my hand for a very long time. Like I kept putting them into puzzle jail because I just couldn't find where they go until I think the very, very end. So even while puzzling, I couldn't find this one. But yeah, it's discontinued, unfortunately.
Sad. I was so looking forward to trying it. I'm going to be in the UK in a couple weeks.
Oh,
on screen. Oh, look, I see a very familiar puzzle table on screen. I see Karen Brownlow from the US, and I have actually puzzled on that exact table that she's working on in what I call the Puzzle Palace, because her daughter Sammy and I have been on many teams together. So I have a lovely puzzle space, and this is a lovely border and island building, sun bursting off the border. She's got that whole upper right corner done. She's got those green fruit gummies that appear to be very popular to assemble. Looking very good.
And then we've got another Karen from the United States as well. Then we have Katarina from Austria, Kira from Lithuania, Krista from Austria, and Lea from Denmark.
This is a border heavy group. We see most folks doing borders, and then Kira it looks like she's got kind of, I would think of it as an implied border. It looks like she's not done the border for the sake of the border, but
it's kind of there.
Parts of the border that jumped out. And she doesn't need necessarily more than that to help her know where the frame is going to be, right? The job of the border isn't just to do those pieces, it's to tell us where is the frame of the puzzle. So that's a very cool approach, an implied border. Oh, look, a new term.
An implied border. You can add that to your dictionary of jigsaw puzzling words.
Yes, Jim and I have been. We were hard at work on the dictionary, the written version. It's always much easier to talk about than to write down. But yeah, defining all these puzzle terms that make it easy for us to give names to the things that puzzlers do instinctively. Because if we have names for it, it's easier to talk about, and it's also easier to remember in the moment what your options are.
Oh yes,
trying to figure out how to attack a puzzle.
I can't wait to see that dictionary.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I love seeing everybody's being, when they're searching through the pile, I'm noticing everybody being really careful. They're not grabbing just whole bunches of pieces. I'm not seeing anybody going, well, I guess it has some sort of block on it. Here we go. And pulling like 60 pieces. And again, that's part of that space management, right? So good job. 50 plus team, you are doing a good job making sure you don't pollute, don't pull extra pieces that you don't need.
In relation to what you were saying with the implied border, Graham is saying he often ends up with an implied puzzle.
Yes. Implied puzzle, I like that.
And another thing that Michelle just shared is that Karen Brownlow actually, last weekend on her third time at US Nationals, has finished her puzzle for the first time.
She did. I was there on the floor at the US Nationals and watched her do it, and I screamed myself actually hoarse. You can probably hear it because I still sound a little bit like a pirate. I lose my voice at every in-person competition because I love cheering for everybody. But we're so proud of Karen, and her team and her pair did great as well.
Well, here's a couple of other people that you can cheer for, including Lina from Lithuania, Loretta from Ireland, Elizabeth, I think I have seen that she is Elizabeth Rothermel because she had like a different alias for her screen. Then we have Lynn from the United Kingdom. Then we have Madeline from Switzerland and Margriet from South Africa.
Oh, that's fun. I love when the geographical spread, we get 6 puzzlers on screen and they're from all over the world. This group is looking really strong. We see some nice islands starting to come through and smaller islands that connect, right? That's the key when you're building islands of puzzles. You have to look for the joins, right? And because if you have two sections that go together, sitting next to each other but not connected, you can give yourself the false idea that a piece you're holding could go in the space that actually doesn't exist between the two of them. It will look like there are, if each island is 4 pieces high, it will look like there are 8 possibilities of where another piece could go, when in fact, there are 0, right, when you connect the 2 islands. So looking for joins is very, very important, especially in a big puzzle like this. And yeah, I like seeing folks connecting those little islands. That is the key to getting this mid-game really going here.
And not to mention, it's one of the most satisfying things to do in a puzzle, is to connect those islands. All of a sudden, when you realize that like 5 pieces go next to each other and you can just merge the 2 things, it's just, so good.
Oh,
Also a
look at
treat.
this. It just came up on screen. Talk about joining islands and with no border. Is it Marguerite? My goodness, that's some serious progress.
Marguerite is looking good. She might actually be in the lead so far, as much as I can tell.
It's certainly one of the more, there are more joins made. We can say that. Now that doesn't necessarily, we'll see what happens, because at the end, you know, if somebody has a bunch of islands that aren't joined, they build the whole puzzle and at the end just go join, 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 join. It can leap ahead. That's what's really fun about a puzzle like this. It's hard to predict, but that is looking very strong. And actually right next to her on screen, is it Maya?
Maya from Finland. Then we've got Mandy from the United States. Then we have Mantas from Lithuania, Margit from Germany, and Maria from Finland.
Maria, who's getting some assistance.
No, sorry, Sweden. I got it
Oh,
wrong.
Sweden. Well, whatever it is, look at she's got kitty assistants brushing her pile, hopefully together. Oh, that would just raise my blood pressure. Nervous.
Yeah, me too. But
pieces.
the thing is, like, as adorable as the cat is, I still keep thinking about the ducklings.
It's a competition of cute living mascots today. So it's fun seeing Marguerite. We were talking about the progress of the joins that she's made. Right next to her, Maya has also made so many joins much more in a sunbursting style, right? She's got the border and she's building off of it. Look, that whole right-hand side of the puzzle, basically top to bottom, is there. There are a few holes to fill in, some of the murkier bits, right? There's a lot of murky bits, the space in between the candy bars that you don't notice when you look at the picture, but when you're looking at a puzzle pieces, there's probably, gosh, I'd estimate 70, 80 pieces of what I would call in the cracks, just total muddy, like darkish, not black, not helpfully black, but kind of in the middle, flashes of gray and silver, the shadows in between things. So filling that in is going to be a big part of the closed for everybody, and anyone who can get that going earlier on, that's going to help them later.
Also, the one thing that we haven't said yet, make your guesses in the comments who's going to be first finisher with what time. And on that note, how long did it take for you, Mari?
How long did it take for me? Actually, I can look it up because I log everything.
In the meantime, I can also say I finished it in 43:31. So it was a faster puzzle for me.
Yeah, I was 38:22, and my comments to myself in my training journal was, fun one, didn't recognize any of this, but some decent DRing and pulling by groups. Scattered clothes, just tried to fill quadrants, don't hop around so much. I keep in my training log a journal for myself. So yes, I guess I've had the same set of thoughts about this puzzle more than once.
It is very nice to like get a sneak peek into how you do your journal of trainings, of what you note down for yourself.
Yeah, it's fun. Sometimes reading through my comments is hilarious. Sometimes it's, what was I thinking? And sometimes it's, why haven't I learned that yet? I've written it 100,000 times. And sometimes I don't even write words. I just put things that look like expletives. So there are those puzzles. This is some progress, though, happening. Look at this on screen. Folks are really starting to fill this thing in.
We've got Marta B from Germany, then Marte from Norway, Mayday from Poland, Merlin from Estonia, Jike from the Netherlands, and Mojca from Slovenia.
This is the part where everybody starts to revise their guesses, right? Because again, we're going to see from the bird's eye view, things looking more or less progressed, and then each in their turn, these puzzlers will suddenly leap ahead when their strategy hits the fast part, right? So people who are building bigger islands and setting up for a scattered close, their fast streak is going to come in the middle here, where they start to really join those islands up, and then they'll have to really fight at the end when they've got to close the puzzle with all the scattered holes of undefined shrapnel. And the DR or pick and place are people that are really trying to sunburst and fill everything in. It's going to look slower at the beginning, but suddenly it will be done. It looks like they teleport. So it's a fun one to predict. I don't see any guesses yet in the chat, people. Let's see some predictions. Be gutsy, be willing to be wrong, because it's fun to see if your predictions hold up or how they change.
The one thing that is tricky about these puzzles though is that the more you pick and place and the more chaotically you work all around the place, the leftover pieces that you have at the end, the last 15, 20, are going to be all over the place, most likely. So even at the end, those are most likely the pieces that you couldn't recognize before. So it's all leftovers, and you kind of have to figure out where they go. So it is still tricky around the end to actually realize where these pieces go. The good thing with the Gibsons is that I think they have very recognizable shapes. So at the end, you can even work with the shapes very well to fill in the gaps, especially if you have just one piece all over. So you can kind of do like an implied shape sort, let's call it that. Not exactly shape sorting, but you might go for the special shapes first, like 3 outs or 3 ins or whatever you have around the end, and then finish with the regular shapes at the very end.
That's definitely a fun thing about the Gibsons, is the cut is very expressive and very easy. It's tough to get a false fit in a Gibson if you're paying attention. It's not impossible. I've certainly managed it more than one occasion, but it's great shape work. Another great thing about the Gibsons, it's a thicker piece, right? So they're very sturdy. And maybe it's not a great thing. Maybe it's just a feature, because if you put a piece in and it doesn't go, you have to like rip it out. Sometimes I feel like I need a chisel nearby. So you don't want to place something unless you know it's going there, because you'll lose fractions of a second pulling it out, which doesn't sound like much, but in the grand scheme, it can really add up if you're costing yourself an extra half second every time you have to rip out something that you want to actually go somewhere else. But because of that great hold, it's entirely possible to assemble sections and pick it up and transfer it in the air into the puzzle. So we might see this from some of our puzzlers to help manage space as we get into this deeper mid-game. We might see people assemble something outside of the frame that they know it goes together, but maybe they don't know where it goes. And rather than dropping unknown pieces into the frame and taking up space, they could assemble it on the side. And then when they see where it goes, they can pick it up and drop it in. That's not possible with every brand. If the hold isn't good enough, it will break in the air, and then you have to start over. But you can do that with Gibson.
With Gibsons, it definitely works. I also have to say, I did get a couple of false fits from time to time. Even though it's very, very expressive, it can be sometimes false fitty if you're unlucky. And then it also, as you were saying, it's very hard to take apart. But we are also having new people on screen who are also deep in the puzzle, getting closer and closer to the end game. This is Nadia from Germany, Natasha from Austria, Nina from Slovenia, Nora from Finland, as far as I can see, Puk from the Netherlands, and Ramona from Switzerland. And we are seeing more and more Slovenians, which is very, very nice. And it's also good training for them, because next week is actually Slovenian Nationals. So it might also be a preparation event now for our Slovenian participants.
Very good. All right, I'm seeing some guesses in the chat. A lot of people are estimating mid 40s, mid to upper 40s, definitely some sub 50s. I think there's some sub 50s in this group. I haven't seen somebody setting up for sub 40 yet. Somebody could surprise us and go sub 45. That would be so exciting. But my bet is similar to what we're seeing in the chat. But we'll have to see if there's some teleporting coming from somebody. So
I'm also pretty confident with like a mid 40s. I would also get somewhere around there.
This is the stage of the puzzle where no matter how much you've progressed, right? These puzzlers have been puzzling for 38 odd minutes, 39 minutes. And this is when the fatigue starts to set in, right? No matter how much you've done or how much you have left, this is a long time to be doing anything intensely, and especially these really busy, bright puzzles where you have to really work to adjust your eyes and see different things. The mental fatigue really sets in. So this is where we see the grit from speed puzzlers, that the freaks, the speed puzzlers have grit where the casual puzzlers don't have to. This is the thing that makes us different from the normal people who do puzzles the way they were intended to be done. So everybody who's puzzling, you can probably feel your eyes going, ugh, and it's time to like take a second. You can always, it feels like it would cost you too much time, but you can always look up from the puzzle and take a quick second, blink your eyes a bunch, shake your head, and then look right back down. It will take not even a second, and it can help your eyes really adjust, right? If you can refocus physically your eyeballs. So every time you feel your brain going up in smoke, look up, shake your head, blink, blink, and reset and get back in there. We got you. We're cheering for you.
And we have, again, new people on screen, including Rena from Germany, then Richard from Belgium, Rikke from Denmark, then Robert from Austria, and Sabine from Denmark, and Sanna from Finland.
Also, some very good-looking progress here.
Sanna's
We're getting to
I
this-
think Sanna's table is not making her job easier. I was trying to I was trying to make out what is happening, and then I realized it's kind of this marbly tabletop, so it's not easy.
I was looking at that too. I am so impressed. Sanna, you are a champion for puzzling. That makes the busy puzzle even tougher when you have a busy table, and she's doing fabulously. So my eyes couldn't do that. I would pass out.
Also,
I'd
a
be
lot of
foaming at
progress
the mouth.
there. I can't exactly
Yeah.
make out how much she has of the puzzle done, but it feels like she's also one of our front runners right now.
I'm seeing it too. Yeah, I agree. Very, very strong. Lots of islands that are filling in and connecting. She's to the stage, and we're going to be seeing more and more puzzles at this stage now, where us watching, it will be hard to tell how they started, right? If they started with a border to reference, or if they just did islands without that border reference. And that's really fun when they start hitting that point where you can't tell what the initial start was. That's when they're starting to line up for the close. This is also the stage where, with all the busy puzzles, all the busyness in the puzzle, the nice pull, the clear, distinctive, like, okay, there's only one of these, I know what it is, it's easy to see in the pile, those are all gone. We reach the stage, every puzzle, no matter how easy or difficult we think the puzzle is, this stage is always coming for us. The stage where you have to start changing how you're looking at the pieces. Jim and I call it a lens shift, where it's almost like you have to put a different pair of glasses on your eyes, that if you've been looking at color, it might be time to look at shading. Or if you've been looking at shading, it might be time to look at shape. Changing from foreground to background, looking at what's in focus or out of focus. You have to find something new to see in the pile, because whatever lens you've been using has now expired. You've done all the things that lens will reveal. So this is the brain part of the competition. And oh my goodness, look at Saskia.
Wow, Saskia is doing incredible. Saskia from
And Tulia
Estonia
right next to her.
and Tulia from Finland. They are pulling in for the last maybe 30 pieces. we're
Maybe closer to 50. I don't know. Jim, I'm not a great estimator, but
Me neither.
no matter what, these two are lining up for the close.
So we're going to have to
so-
hurry up so we can present everyone. So I'm going to go on with Ulrika from Germany, Undine from Latvia, Vanessa from Austria, and Vesna from Finland. And this is actually the end of the ABC. So we are all through the ABC. And yeah, we have basically got through, and we got some people, yes, Saskia and Tulia, who is very much ahead.
Really, really looking good. Both these guys, and they both have. They're going to have a scattered close. It looks like Tulia has fewer like one-piece holes. She has fewer holes of bigger sizes, and Saskia has smaller holes, ones and twos pieces scattered around. One situation is not necessarily better than the other. It's just how they're going to keep track of what's left. But these two looking very strong. I'm trying to see how our A's and B's, who we haven't seen for a little while, are doing as well.
But
we
our
see anybody else.
live stream magician is helping us out because she has placed the people with the most progress on screen right now. So we can see that Tulia, Saskia, Marguerite, Maggie, and Danielle are at this point with the most progress, and Anna.
Look at this. Very, very, very strong. So these estimates are of finishing times are going to turn out being pretty good. A couple of these people could be, if they really, really keep their physicality moving and push hard for this close, we could see this finish in, I imagine, well, if I were really on fire, how fast could I finish a situation like this that they've set up? Maybe in a 1.5, 2 minutes, we are right there.
We are very close to finishing.
Push, push, push.
And also, Michelle is saying that Vesna is also streaming on her own channel, Puzzling Happiness. A lot of people might know their streams. Vesna's husband is always the commentator, and it's a pleasure to watch.
I love this. Okay, it's looking very, very strong. Both Saskia and Tulia have really brought their holes, the number of holes left, down. I feels like from what I can see, they have the fewest number of pieces left, but it could still be anyone's game. And between the two of them, I'm hard pressed to see who is more ahead in the piece count. It's a little hard because they've got some boards in play. You may see some folks using boards to do this close. And again, there might be somebody else with a hole that looks bigger, but it's more condensed together and they know what's in it. It's not as scattered and they could leap forward. So it is anyone's game right now. If you are in the close, now is the time to put on the gas. The top 5 is really up for grabs.
It is something that I have been thinking about recently, of like pick and placing these kinds of puzzles, whether it's luck of what gaps you are left with at the end, or if there's any strategy that you can play with to have like just a condensed area that is left at the end of the puzzle. Because I do think that brings you a benefit if you have like just one hole and you don't have to scan around the entire puzzle with every piece. But I'm not sure if you can actually strategize to just have that one hole left at the end if you're doing a full pick and place like this.
Oh, see, I think you really can. I call it engineering the close, that when I'm down to about 100 pieces, I am trying to engineer the close that I want to run in my puzzle. And if it's too scattered, I will devote time to purposely closing whole quadrants. So anybody who's got a scattered close, what you're going to see them doing is, rather than just taking one piece and looking over the whole puzzle, they might, instead of looking for the piece, grabbing a piece and then looking for the hole, you will see them look at the hole and then go find that piece. So they're going to try and close off entire quadrants so they know that like my whole upper right-hand corner is done. So I don't have to work there. That part of the puzzle doesn't exist anymore, right? And so they're going to try and chase the location of where the holes can be into a smaller and smaller areas so there's less to work with.
How easy do you find it to like all of a sudden switch from looking for a piece to looking for the hole? Like instead of looking for the hole to looking for the piece?
It's definitely difficult. It's one of those lens shifts, right? Whenever we're looking at the pieces a certain way, our brain wants to keep looking at them the same way. So what speed puzzlers have to train is the ability to switch gears quickly and effectively. And you have to convince yourself that the new way of looking at the pieces is what works. I'm always reminded of those pictures that are of two things, like do you see the vase or do you see the two people looking at each other, and the ability to convince yourself that it's one or the other.
Ooh, it is getting very exciting though. Saskia and Tulia, I think, are like basically neck to neck.
Basically neck and neck, and it's a slightly different scattered pattern. This is where we're going to see who can get rid of whole sections of the puzzle, who will look around less. Are they looking for the piece or looking for the hole? It looks like Tulia's maybe a couple pieces, maybe not. I can't tell. Saskia,
it's hard to tell.
So yeah, it's very hard to tell. Go, both of you, go race. This is such a good show. I love when puzzlers put on a good show. You're not racing each other, you're racing the clock and you're racing yourselves and putting on a fabulous show. This is so great.
Incredible.
Last
two pieces, unless she hid some pieces on the puzzle.
Oh yeah, also possible.
Done.
Yeah.
We've got Tulia on first place with 49 minutes and 2 seconds. And Saskia
Very
is
good.
just in the corner. Only a couple of pieces left, and she's just behind.
Looking great, Saskia. Push, push, push. Keep this sub 50.
It
Can
will
she
be
do
sub
it?
50. I'm sure. Yes.
Fabulous. All
And
right. so
just one
there-
more piece. Done. Yes. Another sub 50.
Two sub 50s. Congrats, you guys. Okay. Next group is coming
49.35.
right- Oh, yeah. It looks like she has a missing piece. Oh,
Looks like
That's-
Saskia has a missing piece, but it might just be somewhere around. Hopefully,
Who
it's a full puzzle. Might be under
Anytime
one of the
somebody has a-
boards. Yeah, found it. Got it.
oh, good.
Very good. Still
right.
confidently sub 50. Yay!
Very, very good. All right. And here comes, there's another group hot on the heels here.
Now
Well,
the
I
action
think-
is going to be turning on.
Oh, big time. Big
A
time. All
lot,
right.
a lot
so
of
it's
people
all
are coming
about-
in for a close.
And we're going to look and see who is going to be able to engineer a close that's going to help them in the end, right? Like build towards the close you want to run. So see if you can get rid of a whole corner of the puzzle that you won't have to scan again. See if you can make groups in your pieces, even if it's just groups of 3 or 4 pieces that you know go together, so you can do them all at once instead of finding one at a time. It's more efficient. Saskia says in the chat, it's her 6th sub 50. Congratulations. That is so cool.
So looks like someone has graduated from the 50 plus club.
Anyone who's tuning in, participating or viewing for the first time, the reason it's called the sub 50 club is getting a puzzle sub 50 minutes is a huge milestone for speed puzzlers. I think anyone you talk to who's speed puzzling, no matter how long they've been doing it or how fast they are, they remember their first sub 50. And the first time you do it, it's like you've been struck by lightning and holy cow, I'm superhuman. And then when you start to repeat it, then it gets really exciting. So it's a big deal to hit that milestone.
Yes, that 50-minute milestone is somehow a very, very big thing for everyone. It's very hard to get there. And then once you're there, all of a sudden it turns your speed puzzling into something completely different, I think, as well. And then you start chasing the 40s.
Oh, and Tulia says that's her first sub 50 on a first try on a puzzle. that she's
Amazing!
before. That is huge. Yeah. So for those of you who are watching, there are 2 kinds of sub 50s. There's a sub 50 on a repeat, which is huge if you've never done it before. And then a sub 50 on a puzzle that you've never seen before. So usually we hit a time marker for the first time on a puzzle we've seen before, and then we try to apply it to something brand new. So both of you guys, so fabulous. You should be so proud. And I hope you are going to treat yourselves.
And we're going to be
up this-
inviting you both for an interview. We're just going to wait for a 3rd place finisher. So don't go anywhere. If you want to chat with us, then we would be very, very happy to have you on the stream just now, once we have our podium.
I think we're very close. Anne, is it going to be Anne?
Ooh,
It's looking close. It could also be Maggie. Oh my gosh.
so
You
close!
guys are going faster than I can scroll. Look at how exciting. Oh, hit the done, hit the done.
Hit the done. There it is.
There it is.
Anna from
Woohoo!
Germany. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yay.
So well done.
Amazing. Incredible job, everyone. I also see that in the comments, people are very encouraging. Lots of congratulations, being happy for everyone. So it's amazing. Very, very
And
good.
there's
We're all
Margit.
very happy.
Margit has finished 53:22. Well done. All right, we got
Yay!
one more spot in our top 5. Who's it going to be? This group is very close together. On screen, Fiona, Lynn, Lena, Margit. Oh, and Madeline's close too. Oh, let's see. Everybody's dealing with that scattered close, right? Are they looking for the piece? Are they looking for the whole? Can you get a whole sector closed, right? Get the whole top corner, get the whole bottom corner. That will make it so you don't have to work so hard to look. The efficiency of a scattered close.
It looks like we have a podium made up of all first-timers. It's a first-time podium for everyone. Even better. Congratulations.
All right. Watch the
I'm trying to
scattered
go
close,
through
folks.
everyone to not to miss anybody. I can't exactly tell who is the closest.
This group is so close on screen here. A lot of L's and M's, the middle of the alphabet, playing real hard here. I love it.
There was someone joking at one point that you get like kind of an advantage if you have a K in your first name, because like, you know, you've got Kati, you've got Kirsten, you've got Christian, all of these fast people with Ks.
That's funny. Here we go. Looks like
Go, go,
last
go.
couple pieces for Lena.
And Marguerite as well.
Oh, Margaret too.
Woo!
Oh, wow. Neck and
And
neck.
fifth place is Anna. Anna from Poland.
Anna, well done. Oh, I didn't even see her on my screen.
Yes,
Look
there's
at
the wave. We caught the wave. And
Congratulations.
Lena from Lithuania.
There it is. Very, very good. So that's our top 6.
And
Oh, and
top
there's
7,
Madeline. 7.
Ah,
Wow,
yes,
you
now
guys.
we're getting the wave of finishers as well, of like everyone closing in on the last few pieces. The first wave
And
is coming.
3 more places in our top 10 up for grabs. Let's go, you guys. See if they can keep, all of these guys will keep this sub hour for sure, but could you keep it sub 56? Could you keep it sub 57? Let's go. Every minute you duck under is a
And we've got
huge
Marguerite on place 8. 56 and
Yay,
6.
Marguerite.
Yay!
Good day for the letter M. I approve.
And Mojca, place 9, from Slovenia.
Very nice. Look how close these finishers are. We're looking at like 20 seconds in between places here. And there's Nina.
And there's Nina, also from
No,
Slovenia.
Nina. Very strong day for the Slovenians. All right. And there's Ramona.
And yes, we're just getting
Congratulations.
finishes jumping in the whole time. We're at place 14 now. So we're getting a huge wave. And I would say that we could invite Tulia into the conversation.
Yes.
If she's still here. If you're here, then turn on your microphone. We would love to chat with you.
And as we're waiting, I'll just say that we had 3 finishers in the same second.
Wow.
56, 46, and hundredths. Mandy, Danielle, and Merlin, all right there. There's Tulia.
Hello. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
I'm shocked. I can't believe it.
Yes, well, you were saying that this is your sub 50 on a your first sub 50 on a first try. What was your closest so far?
I have to check. Maybe 50. 52 minutes.
Ooh, that's a big drop. Congratulations. 2 minutes is like a week in speed puzzling time. So,
How did you like
that's
the puzzle?
I really like this type of puzzles because there is so many things you can do like in one time. And I just like these, I don't know how to say it, but so many little things you can collect and put together.
the busy puzzles.
Oh yeah, that's the word. Yeah.
I love that. So I'm curious, we were discussing early on would people recognize these chocolates? And like sometimes it's easier to puzzle things that you know. Did you know any of these chocolate brands, or are they brand new to you?
Just a few Twix and Toblerone and Milky Way, but I don't know many of these.
Well, good for you. You are proof that you can puzzle fast, even if you don't know what it is. That's fabulous.
Yeah.
But then also the question arises, which one is your favorite chocolate? It doesn't have to be on the puzzle. It can be any of the chocolate.
It is Finnish Fazer milk chocolate.
Okay, no, that is.
Have to say.
And then the other important question to ask is, of the chocolates on this puzzle, which would you most like to try?
Maybe toffee crisp.
Okay. The toffee crisp. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we can ask serious questions about puzzling. The silly questions about chocolate are obviously the most important for this particular day. But what was your approach to the puzzle? Did you start with the border? What colors got your eye?
I tried to do the border first, but then I found the lilac part, milk tray. I did it first, and then just added the piece where it goes, pick and place. I think I tried to do, and then border when I found the right pieces, and the fruits I found first, and the yellow and red on the left side, and then just try to delete everything.
That's awesome. Yeah, those the milk tray, that dark purple, was a very popular island. A lot of people built that early on because it's bigger than some other things. What was your strategy when you got to the middle and things started looking the same?
Then I just grabbed one piece and looked where it is, and if I didn't find it, next, and I did some like ready and then put it on the place, because I didn't always find it on the picture.
Very good.
I didn't know where it goes.
The drop-in strategy when you build outside of field. We were talking about that, wondering if people were doing. Very smart.
Yeah.
Have you done a lot of the Gibsons puzzles before? Like, do you know the brand?
I think this is new brand. I have bought 1,000 piece to my mom, but I have not done it yet. So 500 piece, a new brand for me.
And what did you think of it?
Impressive.
Some pieces like false fit, and then it was very hard to take off. It's not easy to take out of each other.
That's really impressive to get a first look best time. Not only that the image is new, but that the brand is new too. That people who haven't done it might underestimate how tricky it is to puzzle a brand that you've never seen before.
Yeah, I thought that this would be a disaster, but it was just. I was flying, I have to say.
Then it really worked out very well for you. Are there any events that you're preparing for this year? Are you going to the Finnish Nationals? I think that's also in about 2 weeks. Yeah,
it is like next weekend, and yes, I'm going there. I have trained Ravensburger puzzles a lot.
And what are your expectations for the competition? Or yes, what is your plan for the competition? What do you want to achieve?
We have a pairs team, so there we would like to be on top 10, but I don't know if it's possible. What we would like to do as fast as possible, and on solo round, I think I would like to do my own best. That I don't have any like which is my position, but I'm going to enjoy the days.
That is definitely one of the best goals, to enjoy the day.
Yeah,
and do your best.
Yeah.
And going in with a PR this week, that's such a huge confidence boost to say, oh, I know I can do it now. So you get to take that really good energy in with you. That's fabulous.
This is very, very nice. I'm so happy.
Is there anything that you would still like to tell us? Like the theme of today was what your guilty pleasures are and how you treat yourself after a difficult challenge. Do you have any like fun ways you treat yourself?
I don't know. Maybe I eat some good candies or chocolate and I will do it today. Also, I will eat my Easter candies. Because
Yay!
so good result. But I don't know. I try to enjoy the moment then.
Well, you definitely deserve a big celebration. You can celebrate the fast chocolates with more chocolates.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for people who are still puzzling to help them get to the finish?
I don't know. Just put the piece where it goes, because I did it today like that. I look at the picture and put the piece there, and that was the thing I did. And good luck for everyone who's doing puzzle.
Yay, yeah, it sounds like simple advice, like put the piece where it goes, but it's amazing how much that is good advice. And when you're doing many things on a puzzle, just making it that simple can actually speed you up a lot. So it's very good advice.
Yeah.
Well, Tuija, congratulations. I hope you celebrate like crazy. We're so proud of you. Welcome to the podium. Welcome to
Thank you very much.
Looks.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm so
and thanks for joining us.
And while we've been chatting,
while we have been chatting, we have 40 finishers already. With 1 hour and 7 minutes. Judith Hesse was the 40th place from Germany. So we have 40 finishers at 1 hour and 10 minutes.
And now 42. Look at that. In the time it takes to say there were 40 people, now there are 43.
Now 45.
45. Okay, this is where I get very excited, because this is where we start to say, are we going to clear the room? Are we going to get 100% of people finished? Because if we have, how many people just finished by the time we said that sentence? Now there are 47 finished. More than half of the field is done. There are 38 people puzzling right now. 37 people puzzling right now. Are all 37 going to fit? This is my favorite part. My favorite thing
we
is
just
all
keep
the
getting
girls.
finishers from everywhere, and I really hope Jim is listening. There might be a chance.
If we clear the room, that is my favorite thing in all the world. I think all of you know it's my partner Jim's favorite thing in all the world. So anytime I get to commentate in EJJ, if I get a cleared room, I get to tease Jim saying, I got a clear room, I got a clear room. So everybody, you have to help me puzzle so fast so I can brag to Jim. the room I got to be a guest in finished. 100% of people finished the puzzle. We now have 34 people puzzling.
Well, publishing their results.
Publishing their results. There, published their puzzle. All right, so puzzle fast, everybody. And do we have our other sub 50 time handy? Saskia, are you here that we can chat a little to you as more people race towards the finish here?
I am here.
Hello.
She's here.
Yay.
Hello.
Hey.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Incredible.
Thank you. I'm still recovering from all that. I'm still shaking, I think, a little bit. That was a fast pace.
Well, what did you think of the puzzle? How was it for you?
At first, I don't like really busy puzzles, so it took me aback a bit in the beginning. But I have found that I won't think about it, and I will just because my subconscious knows where the puzzle pieces will go, and I will not interrupt it with too much thinking, and I will just do the puzzle. So I just try to keep on going, and I have to say I'm quite pleased with the result.
You should be. That's really awesome. That's always a challenge when a puzzle comes out of the box and it's something that you don't usually think of as being your strength, because I think all of us have that when we look at a puzzle and it's like, oh no, this is the sort of thing, not really my jam, and you feel your stomach just kind of drop, like, ugh. And then to transcend that and to say, I'm going fast anyway, and to make friends with the puzzle is so impressive. I love when people do that.
Also, I have an important question. Is that a puzzle behind you?
Yes, that is a puzzle behind me, which I have been doing with my friends for a few years. Sorry, I will try to get rid of those two at the moment.
Fan club.
Let it again. So yeah, we have been doing a few. We have been doing a few years this puzzle with my friends, just once in a while when we get the time, and it has like at least the part that's missing from the wall. The one hole is actually done, and we have like 1/3 to go more. But yeah,
Oh yeah, now I see that there's a part missing.
Yeah, there should actually be one more line next to it. But yeah, that was my goal before coming to speed puzzling, was doing the bigger ones.
How many pieces is it total?
It's 1300, 13,200.
Very cool. That's a nice size to do a little bit at a time.
Yeah, but now I don't have time for it, for I'm speed puzzling when I get the time. So that's why it's have done only.
So then that's also how you got into speed puzzling, like basically gravitating from the large puzzle to the smaller ones?
Yeah, it seems kind of typical for speed puzzlers that they used to do big ones, because yeah, like 1.5 years ago, like 1,000-piece puzzle seemed too small for me. There's no point in doing that. And until then, yeah, we heard with friends that speed puzzling is actually something. And now I have only a few like 1,000 or bigger ones, and I have the whole cabinet full of 500s. And what I like about them is having kids and all. You just need 1 hour or 2 hours. You know, you are done, and you have that good kick feel. And then you can continue with your day. With the bigger ones, you have to have more time for that.
Well, and now as you're getting faster and faster, you don't even need 2 hours or 1 hour. You only need 50 minutes or less.
Yeah, that is so true, because I have been on the edge of the 50 minutes for quite some time, but I haven't done too many AJJs, and so I didn't have the fast puzzles. But I know some of my friends had. For example, Eveli, who's already also doing the puzzle today, still finishing. She takes part a lot in the AJJs. And so I have been lending from her and from other friends some puzzles that I know that they were fast. And I just like the past 1 week, I have been trying to eat myself out of the 50 plus 50 club. So yeah, and that this one was my sixth, the first time try. And also a fun fact: the first puzzle, 500-piece puzzle that I did sub 50 the first time was also Gibsons, the London transport one.
Oh
So
yeah.
this one was my first.
Oh,
This was my first sub 50, and I was comparing the boxes. I looked at, oh, it's a similar box. It's probably something similar, and I was thinking like, oh, maybe this one will be my last one then.
that's great. I'm so curious to hear from you, because we were talking about what a big milestone it is to start to get your first sub 50, but then to start getting them more consistently, and how much it's a really big drop to get sub 50. What have you been noticing or working on or changing in your puzzling to get yourself into this bracket that is more regularly sub 50, to trying to get sub 50 all the time? What are you doing differently now?
I find that the few things that help me the most is one, as I said, is my mindset. As somebody also said, Victor or somebody, that the time you're doing the puzzle, it has to be your favorite puzzle. You don't think about it, oh, it's so bad, I don't like it, then you will slow down. But I have gotten to the point that I try to not think too much of the picture at all. I will just doing the pieces and what goes. And the other one is especially when I'm flipping, then in my head I always have to say like hurry, 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 hurry. Otherwise I start to think other things, and then I will forget myself and go slow. But I have to remind myself constantly that you're in a competition. I want to do this fast, and so fast.
Yeah, they're definitely different habits, both physically and mentally, that kick in, that allow people to drop below that 50-minute line. Like you move differently and you think differently when you're below the 50 line versus when you're above. And so that's a big part of making that drop. That's great advice to anyone watching or puzzling now and working their way towards that big goal line of the sub 50. So we were talking about, oh,
go on.
Oh, I was going to ask the silly questions. If you had a serious question, we should do yours first.
Well, it's half silly, half serious. Which kind of puzzle is your favorite? Are you a busy or a gradient type person?
Gradient, definitely. I don't like busy puzzles. I have now been trying to train them a bit more because I'm not really used to, and taking some looking up to some friends who are really good at like pick and place. And so I have tried like, so you would get to know this picture as well. Today as well, usually I'm more like unboxed puzzles are not too bad for me because I don't use the picture too much. So I just go by the pieces. But today I just had to look at the box. But at first you look quite much at the box to see where what goes. But later on you still get used to the types or different textures, colors, and where was what, and so it will go like faster. But yeah, definitely gradient is it's one of my preferable things.
Well, then you've done great success. And you say your goal is to make friends with the puzzle. Look at what you did today on something that you're like, not mine, and it shows the practice of working on these kinds of puzzles and these skills that aren't so natural for you, but then also the commitment to saying, I don't care what the puzzle is, I'm going fast anyway.
Well, you have to.
Oh yeah, we've been talking so much about the chocolates in this puzzle. It's unavoidable. So we're curious, what is your favorite chocolate to eat? It doesn't have to be in the puzzle.
Well, I'm quite chocolate lover. I love various kinds of chocolates, and lately my personal preference has been the ones which have like other candy in them, like tumle or something, dime or something, that you have like other textures in it, or hey, Eveli just finished that.
Yay!
And or which have something like what sparks or the strong strong flavor in there.
That's great. And did you know any of the chocolates in this puzzle, or was it new to you?
Yeah, of course I know the most popular ones, but very many are they look like the older versions of them. Oh yeah, it was like what?
I'm quickly going to jump in. Birgit, please show your puzzle so that we can see that it's finished. I think you dropped out of the call and you had to come back in. So Michelle needs to verify your puzzle. Thank you.
Yay, finish. Congrats.
Yes,
Yeah,
go
definitely.
on, Saskia.
So yeah, I know the most popular ones from here, and quite many. I guess I would know the newer versions of them.
So then the question becomes, which candy in this puzzle would you most like to try?
I think I would like to try the green Aero one. The one I know it has like holes in it, so it's like bubbles. I have eaten similar ones, but I think the green one might be like peppermint or something, which is also my favorite. I would really would like to try that one.
Oh, I remember when I did this puzzle, assembling that text and just going Aero. Okay, so it actually has bubbles. That's exciting. Now I want to try one too.
That's a lovely
like
chocolate.
holes.
I love that one.
Yeah, it has like holes when you're not chewing, but letting it melt in your mouth. Then it goes
It's
like
so
up and up
good.
once in a while when the holes come apart. Like
It's like the fizzy candy, but in chocolate form. So it's like a sensory experience.
I am not so secretly using this puzzle and this EJJ to make. I'm going to be in the UK for the UK Nationals coming up, and so I'm not so secretly using this as my personal shopping list for what.
Well, get all the Aero that you can get.
yeah,
Okay, all right, good.
I also recommend it. Yes,
I would have overlooked that, so thank you for sharing your wisdom.
wisdom of
Well,
chocolate.
we have 14 people still puzzling. We are trying to clear the room. It's looking pretty good because we're at an hour 20 and change, an hour 21, right? So we could really do this. Do you have advice for the people still puzzling to help them like really race towards the finish here?
One thing is don't be afraid to use the picture, because in this one I think you need to. Even if you go for the yellow bits, it still has so many similar, like the discount yellow spots and so. And also the other thing that I did is I picked out the yellows and the blues, and I went by color, and I even went. Usually you do it like a few times, but I went on and on. Took more similar colors because they're still like similar places, some places, specific places for them. So just take one color or one type of text and check on the box where they are and see where it goes.
Very, very good advice, especially when you're towards the close and you don't really recognize what the pieces are. Use that picture for sure. Awesome. Saskia, you deserve some serious celebration after your accomplishment today. I'm so happy for you, and congratulations on the podium and the time and the collecting of sub 50 times. It's just awesome.
Thank you. So maybe I have one more chance, because I do have one more 50 plus puzzle already bought. But after that, yeah, I think the podium will be gone for me.
Well, then you work on the next milestone, right? Once you get sub 50, the next milestone is sub 45, which is a much easier drop. You don't have to think new things to go from sub 50 to sub 45. You just have to do the things you've discovered a little faster. So having done the big milestone, you've got even better ones coming up, and I'm so excited for you.
Very nice. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, and good luck everyone finishing their puzzles.
Yay!
And we have a huge number of people finished. We have 71 finishers so far. Our latest finisher was Dani from Germany, and I'm super happy that Dani finished her puzzle.
I'm so excited for everybody. I'm scrolling through the times here on the finishers, and how closely together people are clustered is amazing. There are multiple times that multiple people have finished in the same second, right? This is why it's fun and puzzling that a overall ranking saying this person is 8th and this person is 13th and this person is 27th, whatever it is kind of silly, because the difference, I'm looking right on my screen, the difference between the 24th place and the 25th place is 1/100th of a second, 101.21.4 and 0.5, Pook and Maria. And I won't tell you which is which, because that's a tie. And then both of you, that's fabulous. And there's so many examples of this. And I'm just so proud of this group. You guys are.
And at any other competition, this would just be a tie. It doesn't go into the hundreds.
Right, right. The EJJ clock is so precise because times are so close together, and it's just really fun to see. In speed puzzling, we don't race each other. We race ourselves and we race the clock, and everybody is doing a tremendous job of racing this clock. We're at 1:24 and 50 seconds now. That is a long time to be doing anything, let alone an intense speed puzzle, let alone an intense busy speed puzzle like this. So you guys are doing great. 13 people are still trying to cram all that chocolate into their brain, so that way they can celebrate and go cram an equal amount of chocolate into their faces for celebratory. But go, you guys, let's clear this room. You've got time. You've got time.
And Vesna is finished. Congratulations. And I can also already see that our third place finisher, Anne, is also already ready to talk to us. Her camera is already on, so you can also turn your microphone on and chat with us a bit.
Hi, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Hi, Anna, congratulations.
Thank you. My first podium, I was so excited. I think I got 4th place in the 50 Plus Club before, but third, yeah, that's a new milestone.
Incredible. How many sub 50s have you done before?
Well, this time it wasn't sub 50, but I had my first sub 50 at the German Championships in the preliminary round.
Oh, which group were you in?
A. It was the past puzzle. So I had a 49 something time, so barely sub 50, but sub 50.
Incredible.
That is a great moment to have your first sub 50, right? At a major event. That's wonderful. So what did you think of this puzzle?
I like collages normally, but in this one there was so much text, and if there's text, I have to really work at not trying to read it and just treat it as some kind of pattern. And I have to really concentrate, because if I don't, I start reading it and I slow down.
That's a really good point. We didn't talk about that much at all when we were watching you guys doing the puzzle. We had a lot to talk about that. That's absolutely true, that a lot of times the best way to do text is to not think of it as text. And when it's so scattered and crazy like this, or maybe the text is in a language that you don't speak, or I've had experiences with text in an alphabet that I don't use, and you have to really focus to not think about it as words. That's a great point.
Yeah, but on the other hand, it was a good thing that everything is orientated the right way. If some of the candy bars had been upside down, I think it would have been more difficult.
That is also very, very true. Wow, I love your perspective already, because I don't spend a lot of time after I finish a puzzle thinking about how could this have been worse. I'm always just happy that I got it. And you're thinking about, they could have been this, it could have been, you're absolutely right.
I was actually thinking about that. I was actually thinking about it while I was still puzzling, because at some point, I wasn't sure if there were some upside down candy bars because I didn't find them immediately. But then at the end, it worked out that they were all right side up.
That is a fantastic thing to do, and that maybe that's a good thing to do while puzzling too. Anytime something is hard, maybe think about, oh, thank goodness it isn't worse in this very specific way. I like that. I'm going to start using that approach. So thinking about the text as regular thing, not text, as just an image, and looking for orientation. How else did you approach this puzzle?
Well, I'm usually very chaotic puzzler. So I pick out the edge and I just do the parts of the edge that are very easy, and then I pick just whatever I see. In this case, I started with the bigger non-text section. So I started with the purple milk tray stuff on the right.
The milk tray, yeah.
Yeah, and the light colored bigger package on the top left, where it says weekend. And yeah, and then I just grabbed what I saw, and at some point I started to pick out similar colors. So at one point I picked everything pink that I saw. And I knew there were several pink pieces, but I just grabbed all the pinks I saw and then kind of picked and placed them. And then I moved on to other colors like the greens and then the very darks, the brown. I think I noticed a bit too late that there is actually very little dark brown. So I could have picked out the dark browns and it would have been an easy giving, but I only did them at the end. Yeah,
That's
very
often
careless, but
something
it works.
That's awesome. Yeah, often people will avoid the dark colors because we think it's hard, but if there isn't much of it, you're right, it can be a great thing to do. But it sounds like you figured it out.
Yeah.
It also sounds like you're really strong.
Also, brown tends to be a challenging color that like blends in with everything else. So you only really start noticing it once like everything else around it is gone, or there's not much noise around it. That's when you really realize.
It sounds like you're a really strong color person when you're puzzling. What did you do when you ran out of the colors that were easy for your eyes to see?
I don't think I actually ran out of colors. I found it to be because my experience is when the pile gets smaller, I tend to pick out the less visible color variations. So at the beginning, I maybe see the purples and the pinks and the bright greens. But when they're all picked out, I then see the difference between the other colors. So at the beginning, most of the blues seem very similar. But then you see, okay, this blue has more the white text inside. This blue has the yellow text inside. This blue has more like an orange text inside. Yeah, then I can differentiate it.
That's really great. That's when somebody can take, we were talking about looking at pieces in different ways with different lenses, and you kept your color lenses on, but being so discerning about telling the differences and things and looking for more and more detail. That's really great because it can last a long time if you keep seeing new things about the color. That's fabulous. So there's been a lot of talk about the chocolates themselves in this puzzle. Did you know many or any of these chocolate types, or are they new to you?
Yeah, I mean the big ones, you know, like Kit Kat, Bounty, Toblerone, Mars, Twix, yeah, and Aero, of course. When Saskia talked about the Aero, I remember that I used to eat them. I haven't in a few years, but that's a very fun chocolate bar. Yeah.
I love that you mentioned the Toblerone. When I did this puzzle, it took me until almost the end to realize that it was a Toblerone. That's one that I did know, and I love Toblerone. But on this puzzle, for anyone who's doesn't have the puzzle in front of them on the internet, the T in Toblerone is cut off. So it looked, I spent the entire time going, oh, it's an Obler. What's an Oblerone?
Yeah, and the color is very similar to the weekend package. So at the beginning, I had those pieces sorted with the weekend pieces, and then I was like, no, that's something different.
Also, the Toblerone is kind of like in the bottom left corner, so it's also kind of hidden. It's relatively small to everything else. I also only noticed it like around the very end.
Yeah. But it was fun, and yeah, a lot of things I just don't recognize. All the fruit stuff, I'm not much for fruit candy, and yeah, probably most of them aren't really available outside of the UK.
Yeah. So then maybe you're in the same boat as me, that you would have to go to the UK to try some of these out. I get to do that. Help me with my personal shopping list based on nothing but your experience with this puzzle. Which of these would you be most excited to try?
Oh, I think I have to say the toffee crisp right on top of the Toblerone. Because well, it sounds interesting, like toffee and something crispy. Yeah, should be good.
See, that's another one I might have overlooked, not just because it's small, but it has a similar problem to the Toblerone where the T is almost cut off. So I was looking like, what's an offie crisp?
Yeah, I just assume it's a T. Maybe it's a C and it's coffee crisp.
Oh, no, it's definitely a T. You're right. When I puzzle, I take things at face value. I miss important pieces of information. Yeah, I bet you that toffee crisp is good. We'll have to see in the chat if we have fans of toffee crisp that would recommend it from experience instead of from puzzling instinct. Puzzle instinct is a great reason for me to buy a candy bar.
But getting back to puzzling a little bit, you were saying that you were at the German Championship and that you participated in that one. Is there anything still planned for you for this year? Are you going to maybe some other events in Germany, or if there's any international events planned? Well, how is your puzzling year looking?
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool already. But mostly German events. I'm going to the Berlin Puzzle Rush in April. I'm going to the 24-hour marathon in Köln in May. I've never done such a long marathon, so we'll see how that goes. And I'm also going to be in Katic competition in Ködek. And I'm not booked on anything else, but I already talked with the team for the Aschheim Marathon at the end of the year.
That is an exciting schedule. I'm so jealous you get to go to the marathon. I've still never gotten to do one, and it is on my dream list.
Yeah, we've already been talking schedules and how we're going to organize it. Yeah, I'm very excited.
No, that sounds incredible. The marathons are definitely going to be amazing. Have you been to the Aschheim Marathon last year?
Yeah, and that was very fun. But actually, with 6 people and just 10 hours, I didn't find it very exhausting. But I think 24 hours are going to be very exhausting.
Yeah. At the end of the 10 hours, Mari, have you done 10-hour marathons before?
Not officially, only by myself, usually by accident. Where I just don't stand up. That's different. What is your team have a strategy, Anna, about how you're going to divide up the 24 hours?
Well, we talk mainly about the night hours. So most people in the team said they'd like to have at least 4 hours break sometime in the night. But it means other people have to puzzle at least 4 hours. And yeah, but we said in the night 4 hours break is pretty important. So maybe some people can get some sleep. But then later in the second day, we want to switch pretty often. So different people can get to puzzle together instead of always like the same 2 pairs being on at the same time. And so we can relax a bit and refresh again.
That sounds like a good strategy. That I always try to imagine, like, how would I strategize a team for the 24 hours, and I'm having never done it, I don't know how to think about it. So that's great advice for anybody headed towards a first marathon.
Yeah, we also said during the day, maybe we could, 1 or 2 people could always be near the puzzling table. So if someone says, well, that's not at all my kind of puzzle, I have to tap out, someone can just switch in. but most people thought that during the night that wouldn't be a good idea because, well, you need some sleep.
Yeah, having dedicated night shift people is
Yeah.
probably a very good plan.
Yeah, it's I have only done one 24-hour marathon before, and preparing for my next one this week. This weekend in France, and actually one of the first thing that we discussed is to like differentiate who's a night owl and who is one of those early birds, because like yeah, it makes a very big difference if you can stay up late or if you prefer to like do things in the morning, to like kind of have the personal preferences in a way.
Yeah, we also discussed that, and I said I'd rather do a shift starting at 4 in the morning than the shift from midnight to 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's definitely going to be a very exciting event. And who is on your team? Who are you going to be puzzling with?
We're not full yet. I think we're 9. We're still looking for a 10. But well, three of the other people are the people I puzzled with in teams on the German championship. And then we've collected just a few other puzzlers,
Mm-hmm. How was the German championship experience for you? For those who don't know, at the German championships, we had to do 4 puzzles in 3.5 hours. So it was basically a mini marathon that you have to complete. And it for a lot of people, it was very like difficult. How did you find it?
Yeah, it was difficult. In training, we managed it once. So 4 puzzles and be done in 3.5 hours with, I think, 3 minutes to spare. But those were very easy puzzles. And in the German championship, one of the puzzles wasn't very easy. Let's just say that. I think we took 1 hour 23 or something for the Dolomites puzzle.
Oh yeah.
So we couldn't get done. But it was still fun. It was fun. Yeah.
And would you want to repeat that format, or would you change anything about it?
Yeah, we talked about it, and we thought maybe 3 puzzles in 3 hours would be a bit more realistic. But well, Isabel, that's the main reason she did it like that was so that the top puzzlers would have a bit more to do, and even the slowest teams would finish at least 1 puzzle. And I think that was achieved this time. But yeah, it's really exhausting, especially at the end of a competition day. And yeah, I think I'd do it again because I also like to do marathons, but I don't know if it's the best team format.
Yeah, I kind of agree. It is very, very challenging to have to puzzle that much without a break. Like in a marathon, you at least get to stand up and tap someone out from time to time, so you can like drink or do whatever when your brain is getting foggy. But yeah, like that, you just have to keep going.
Intense.
Is there anything else that you would still like to share? Another guilty pleasure or a kind of treat that you like to treat yourself with after a challenge?
Yeah, I also actually like doing puzzles as a treat.
Yay!
Yeah, it's not just you, Marty. And the other thing I like to do is read a book I've already read and liked, just as kind of brain candy. I already knew what's going to happen. I know I like it, and just let my brain rest in that.
That's a nice combination from the puzzling to that, so you can balance things for your brain.
Yeah, exactly.
Anna, we have 3 awesome humans who are trying to finish their puzzles in time. They've got time. They've got about 17, 16 minutes left to go. What's your best advice to help them finish all the way to the end of this puzzle, and then we can have the whole room cleared?
yeah, I think the best advice, just keep at it and it will come together. That's always the motto when I try to finish a puzzle.
That is great advice, especially when you've been doing something as intense as a busy puzzle like this for an hour and 43 minutes, and you're so tired. It's just keep going, just keep going. So that is great
But it
advice.
gets easy on the end.
Yes, absolutely. Well, congratulations to you on a fabulous puzzle, and congratulations on the podium. And I will hope for the right balance of night owl and day person to join your team for the marathon and be rooting for you guys.
Thank you very much. And yeah, thank you for the nice puzzle.
And thank you for joining us. Congratulations. And congratulations to Robert, who has just finished his puzzle.
Well done! Yeah!
Incredible. 1 hour, 43 minutes. Amazing job.
I hope, Robert, you are going to treat yourself. Maybe it's not going to be chocolate that you want to treat yourself at this point. You've had a lot of chocolate, but I hope you can celebrate like crazy. That is a fabulous accomplishment, finishing this in the time. So we've got two puzzlers.
We have two puzzlers still at it, working hard, and they still have time. It is still possible for them to finish. I so hope that they're going to finish. So yes, Dora's fan club can activate themselves again.
I was going to say, we need a very strong fan club for both these guys activated. So maybe you know them, but maybe you don't. Maybe you're just watching them. Can everybody in the chat cheer like crazy for Dora and for Bernard, and both of them completely within reason that they could finish this in 15 minutes. Both of them have under 100 pieces left, maybe closer to 50. It's a little hard to tell with these camera angles, but let's hear it for you guys. Like, go, 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 go. A cleared room. You would be the superheroes that allow me to brag to Jim.
I do have insider info that Dora has finished her puzzle so far in Flex before a couple of times, but never live. So we really want her to finish live now.
Oh, Dora, today's the day. I hope so. In the middle of the competition, I hope that people aren't listening to the commentary, because I don't want to be distracting. At the end, I hope people are listening. Here, listen to us, hear us, cheer you on. We are counting down every piece with you, and I'm watching your hands every time. Like, Dora just got one in. There it is. One less to go. Bernard is looking for groups here. Oh, there's one from Bernard. Okay, we're going to count this down with you guys like crazy.
Yes. Yes. And Jenny has already joined us, so you can turn your microphone on as well. We're going to, have a little chat as well for the last, 10 minutes of the stream, 15. Hi.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi.
How did you enjoy? Yes, we can.
Okay, fine.
How did you enjoy the puzzle?
This is not my kind of puzzle. I was afraid of this one. It's very busy, and my head feels like exploded.
This is a puzzle that makes you feel a little brain exploded when you finish, whether it's your kind of puzzle or not. It's so bright and so busy, and you have to use so many brain cells to do every part of it. So I hear you on that.
Yeah.
How was your experience though? How did you tackle the puzzle?
I picked at first. I did the border first, as much as possible, and I picked the purples, the blues, the greens, and I tried to put them in place where they belonged, but I had to shuffle them a bit. And after the colors, I tried to recognize the letters and went by the shapes of the letters and that.
Yeah, that sounds like a valid strategy. It worked. So
yes, I was glad with my time.
Yeah, that would have been my next question. Like, are you happy with your time? How regular that is?
I had 1 hour 7 minutes, and I was very happy with that, because about a year ago, I wouldn't have this puzzle done within 90 minutes.
Ah, that's so great. I love that when you can look at like where you were recently and remember what it would have taken to do a puzzle, and then today to be so much under the 90 minutes. That is fabulous.
Yes.
Were you familiar with this brand? Have you done Gibsons before?
Yes, a few times. I did a London Heritage postage puzzle from the EJJ.
That's one of my favorite puzzles. That's such a fun, fast image, and yeah. What do you when you do Gibsons, what do you think about with this particular brand? Like either things that you get excited, like, oh, I can do this, or things that you know to watch out for? Do you have enough of experience with the brand?
Sometimes Gibsons can have false fits, but with this puzzle, that wasn't the case. And this puzzle has so many details, so it all fits very well.
Yeah, that's good to hear. I also had the same experience that there's a couple of false fits somehow, even though the pieces are recognizable, like the piece shape is pretty nice, so it's kind of surprising. How are you preparing for upcoming events? Are you going to Dutch Nationals this year?
Yes, I'm going, and just doing a lot of puzzles.
Specifically Ravensburger, or do you just do everything that you get?
When the Dutch Nationals come close, I will be doing more Ravensburger. But besides, the most puzzles I have at home are Ravensburger. So,
are there any specific image types that you're really hoping for to get at the Dutch Nationals, or is there a specific image that you really want to get?
No, I like something with a gradient or a gradient sky, and that's what I hope for.
I think it's always so fun when you're at a nationals. Often you expect to see harder puzzles because it's a national championship and they like to have more challenging puzzle. And then if you sit down and get like a beautiful sky, it's such a treat. I will think good gradient thoughts for you.
Yes, thanks. Because last year I had the porcelain pups, and that was a very hard puzzle for me.
Yeah. That's why it's always good to practice the things that are the most challenging.
Yes.
That's awesome. All right. Well, I'll ask the silly questions. There's been a lot of talk about these chocolates in this particular puzzle, and I'm taking a pool. How many of the chocolates in this puzzle were you familiar with? Did you know a lot of them?
The Mars, the Bounties, Arrow. It's in Dutch. It is Bros.
I have to cut in. Dora is on her last pieces.
Let's go.
Well done,
We're
Dora.
gonna come silly talk and do a very serious finish. Here she goes.
Yay!
Oh,
One
she's so
more.
close. She's gonna finish her puzzle live, you guys, for the very first time in the time. Everybody cheer like crazy. Here she goes. Here she goes. There it is.
Yes.
Dora is done. Yay!
Oh, that's fabulous. Dora, you need to go read the YouTube chat. They are going crazy for you.
People are going wild.
Congratulations. That is amazing.
Yay! Today was the day for Dora.
Okay, and today's going to be the day for Bernard too, who is about 20 pieces that I can see, maybe less. He's going to finish too. All right, Jenny, we're going to talk fast because in a second, well, in like a minute or two, the chat is going to explode again for Bernard. So go back to your chocolates, please. Well, we have time.
I know the tricks and the Toblerone. the Milky Way, and the bottom right corner.
Wow, you have quite a few of those.
Yes.
That's great. Did you find that made a difference for you recognizing the candy bars, or it didn't matter?
Yeah, it helped a bit. Because at the end, the pieces left over. I didn't know, and I had to search a lot more on the picture where they go.
Yeah, it definitely, we're always wondering, like, does it help to know the things in the puzzle or not? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. All right, so I'll ask you very quickly because Bernard is down to his last
10
probably 10 pieces here. So really quickly, Jenny, of the chocolates on here that you haven't tried, which one would you most want to?
Die with the pink one, with the girl.
Oh, the tots, the candy tots.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually don't know what those are.
No, I
I don't know what it
either.
is either.
I think they are sweet,
Yeah, most likely.
but
Wouldn't that be funny if they weren't?
not chocolatey.
I'm also just enjoying how Dora enjoyed a piece of chocolate once she finished, and now her mascots are also raving over the puzzle. And Bernhard is also on the last pieces.
He thought last 2 pieces, last 3 pieces. They're in his hands. I can't count, but I don't see any holes. Come on, Bernard, let's go. Come on, chat. Cheer him on.
Yes. Cleared the room. Yay!
You guys.
Yes. I also have to add the celebratory emoji.
Oh,
We
yeah.
cleared the
Wow.
room. Mari, you've got all the bragging rights to Jim.
And I didn't even do anything. You guys did all the work. That was so great. Fabulous.
Yes. 1:55, and we have a complete room cleared with 5 minutes to
That is
spare.
amazing. Wow. How satisfying. I hope everybody goes and celebrates with their guiltiest of guilty pleasures. I kind of want to do an exit survey over email to see how many people celebrated with candy, because of course, and how many people said, I can't celebrate with candy. I just had way too much candy.
I can't celebrate with candy. I wanted to go to the grocery store, but I didn't have time today, so I don't have candy at home.
Oh no.
You can celebrate with a grocery store run. You'll get to the cashier and have an entire basket of chocolate. And the cashier will say, why? And you'll be like, now let me tell you something. I'm celebrating.
Somebody is having a
They
party.
wrote about 2 minutes.
Oh, it's amazing. I'm so happy. We haven't had a clear room in a while. Yay! Yes. Congratulations, Bernhard. It's amazing that you pulled through. I have seen that you wrote that it was very difficult and that the glare on the puzzle was making it very hard. So it's amazing that you pulled through. And yeah, it's incredible. You should definitely read the YouTube chat as well, because people were rooting for you like mad.
Like mad. I think everybody who finished, I was seeing a lot of comments in the YouTube chat. You'll have to scroll up because they're buried in cheering now. But a lot of people who finished and were saying that they were really proud of themselves because of their time on an image that was not their thing. I don't think there are many puzzlers who, see this and go, oh, good, my favorite. Like it's an intimidating image. It's so bright. It's so busy. A lot of us didn't know these candies, and to still finish in the time on something that looked scary or that you don't think of as your type of puzzle is such a huge accomplishment. And that, to me, that's what speed puzzlers do. Casual puzzlers pick puzzles that they like. Speed puzzlers deal with the puzzle given to them. And it's what makes us, as much as the group is similar, that's part of what makes us different. And so I get really excited when we display that power that makes us the wonderful freaks that we are. So I'm really proud of everybody.
And also Bernhard demonstrating how well the puzzle holds together. So we're seeing a
Oh,
very
yeah.
good puzzle lift there. Puzzle
I
pick
wonder
up.
if
There it is.
Can you do a pizza toss? That's my signature move. Is he willing to try it? It sometimes makes a mess. Oh, he's going to try it. No, he's not. He is. Pizza toss with candy. It's
Pizza
a chocolate
toss?
pizza.
Yeah, there it is.
Here it comes. Whoa.
It pizzaed. It works. Yes.
That was excellent. And what a great camera view for it, too.
Well, in the meantime, thank you, Jenny, for joining us to
Okay.
chat. It did turn out to be a very turbulent end to the discussion because it turned out to be so exciting.
We'll
Yeah.
do good gradient skies for you, and congratulations.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jenny.
Bye.
And welcome back, Michelle.
Yes, I think that's the first time we've cleared the room in a long time in a live stream. As I mentioned before, we've had it several times on the Flex, that we've had the Flex and the live together, but we didn't see the 50 Plus Club in the live stream. So really satisfying to see the 50 Plus Club clear the room, and especially that Dora for the first time did it under the time limit, and also that Bernhard, who also struggles to get under 2 hours, also managed that on the live stream. And its time is up. But we didn't need it, and we didn't need all the time.
Can I ask Michelle? We don't usually get to interview you. How does it feel to have picked this puzzle and it turned into a room clear? Like, when you picked it, did you think this was possible to clear the room on?
I thought so. I thought it, well, when you look at the box, the pieces are quite big. So I imagine the pieces were quite bigger, were quite bigger sections. And so I really imagined, like, oh yeah, this is going to be, like, as you say, another collage picture. But then when you take out the poster, you're like, whoa, like there's like, I don't know, 60 pieces of candy here. And when you look at the box, you think like maybe it's about 30. So I did readjust my expectations once I saw the poster. But then I still managed to get a good time, very similar, just like 10 seconds away from Fuji. So it confirmed it. And I was like, yes, I think the 50 plus club are going to do well on this one. So a lot of fun.
That was a great pick. I'm just noticing that my copy, clearly that I got, Gibsons are hard to get here in the US, so I got it through people, and it must have been thrifted because there's a sticker on mine.
Too good to waste.
It says, too good to waste. I didn't notice that before. I think that's great. How right they are.
They are very correct. This is a very, very good puzzle. It was a very good pick today, Michelle.
Yeah, so for those who want or need a puzzle as a confidence booster, or to, you know, maybe hit their target of sub 1 hour or sub 50, definitely try to get hold of this puzzle. There's plenty of copies floating around that you can perhaps borrow from someone. Otherwise, the extras will add to the shop. And yeah, so thank you very much. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, Mari, it was really lovely to spend time with you, and Jim in the US. Fuji, I won't be seeing you soon. Well, we don't have anything scheduled, but you are heading to the 24-hour is it next week?
It is this week.
What?
It is this week. I'm leaving on Thursday.
Okay, and you need a few days. Yeah, you need a good day or two to get there. How are you traveling?
Yeah, we're driving, so it's like almost a 10-hour drive that we're going to be doing there. So we're making also like kind of a holiday out of it, like turning it into a long weekend of like traveling on the Thursday, so that on Friday we can already be there for the social that the French association is organizing with Andrea, who is bringing over a lot of the US Nationals puzzles as well, so people can try them out. So there's going to be like a social get-together thing on Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday is just 24 hours of puzzling.
I love that I have a rule when I'm traveling for events that I will not drive for more hours than the event is going to be. So you have time driving each way, but it's a 24-hour marathon, so
Yeah.
you make the rule.
I was thinking of the same thing, that I wouldn't drive 10 hours for a 10-hour puzzle marathon because it's too much. But yeah, 24 hours is worth it, and especially this event, because I have heard very good things about it and it's supposed to be very good. So I'm very excited.
Yes, I do know that Andrea, she is coming with a lot of luggage. She did tell me that she's going to have 4 check-in bags of luggage, most likely US puzzles for the European folks. So yeah, some nice puzzle smuggling going on there. Yeah, sounds wonderful. And yes, Mari, you'll be heading over soon to the UK and Germany. But yeah, thanks so much for tonight. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, see you on the next stream, or Fuji on your next video.
See you during the next
Thanks,
stream.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, everyone. And
Great
Bye-bye.
show. Congratulations. Congratulations.
yeah, congrats
Bye.
to everyone. Bye.